What's up, you guys? This is not my usual content. Y'all know I am a conspiracy girl. I got the conspiracy channel, the news that they're not newsing. But I really wanted to talk about this because I don't know if you guys can hear me through my headset, but I really wanted to talk about this because it's just I've been watching this whole debacle go down since like Christmas or the days before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But I've been watching all of this go down since before that, you know? And so, it's a mess. It's a mess and I want to talk about it because this happens a lot, and this is how people get into um toxic friendships and toxic relationships and then they continue and continue to get into these toxic relationships or these toxic friendships and they don't understand why. Okay. And looking at this situation, this is a big reason of why. Wiley is toxic. He's toxic. He has no loyalty to nobody, to no one at all. He only has loyalty to himself. And he genuinely, and I'm gonna say this is all how I feel. This is me. You know what I'm saying? This is just my opinion, my observation. He genuinely do not care about other people's when it comes to YouTube, I must say. He genuinely do not care about other people's feelings because he lists it all under entertainment. And then I see people come out the woodworks and try to defend his actions when people step up and be like, I don't like him. You can't mess with someone who has a mental issue. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we all got, number one, we all got mental issues, sis or brother. We're all suffering from something. I promise you we are. And secondly, there is a group of individuals who suffer from mental illness that really should not be coddled. And I'm talking about the narcissists, I'm talking about the psychopaths, I'm talking about the sociopaths, I'm talking about certain, not all, but it's certain traits of schizophrenia that are very bad, that are very bad. And not only that, but you got to remember that some of those kinds, like psychopaths and sociopaths, those they have like little things that they show when they're children, but you can't call a child a psychopath. At least you couldn't. I don't know if they can now. You have to be a certain age to be diagnosed with those kind of illnesses. But schizophrenia usually shows up, usually shows up later on in life. So when I heard the recording, yeah, I was around for that. When I heard, well, I also it was reposted on somebody else's page. But when I heard the recording of his mom talking to I believe she was talking to Armon, and she said, "I don't know where this behavior come from because that's not my baby." That schizophrenia shows up later. Either way, him saying that he's bipolar, maybe I don't know, maybe schizoaffective. I don't know. I don't think he's bi. I am not a mental health specialist. I love mental health. I love I love studying emotions. I just love it. I love it. I love it with a passion. And I love advocating for people when they need it. But what people need to understand also is you can also hinder somebody when you are advocating for their bad traits. If you it's certain people, and then I've noticed this when Wiley talks. Um, he does not give yes or no answers. Never. I mean, I haven't seen it. He has to say yes or because he knows that what he's saying is not right. He knows. He just does not care. And so I was watching the young man's video. I'm so sorry I don't remember your name, but you had Surviving Wiley series. If y'all Google Surviving Wiley, the Wiley Show or Surviving Wiley, he is his little series. I think he said he had to move it to Patreon, but I think it's the King Pain. I think that's it. Don't get me lying. Don't get me lying. But I watched the first and the second one, and if it was a third one, I watched that one too. And I watched the one where Armon Wiggins called in, and you can hear the pain in his voice because that moment he realized that he was in a repetitive toxic situation. And a lot of us, we don't get the chance to hear or to see um the what we've been through get played out back to us in our face. And I felt so bad because that shit hurt. It hurt. I know it hurt. And I'm so sorry, Armon Wiggins, if you see this, I'm so sorry. But at the same time, you needed that. You needed that. You needed for that to get replayed back in your face so you could stop being stupid. Because I honestly wanted to call into your show, sir, and be like, why are you being dumb? Like, why? But I'm not, because you can't do that. If you have a friend or a loved one that's in a toxic situation, you can be there for them. But if they really don't, if they're really making excuses for the toxic person, then they are going to they're going to just make excuses, and then you're going to turn out being the bad guy, and you're not going to be able to help your loved one. So it's a horrible situation to be in. But a lot of people come for Davey Way because he'll tell it like it is. I love Davey Way. Okay, I love Sean. I gotta say it. I'm so proud of you. If you see this, Sean, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because you started out just cussing out everybody in the daggone chat, and then you went from cussing out everybody in the chat to making these surviving series and these surviving documentaries, and I love them. I watch every one of them, and I love them. But everybody gives him a lot of slack because he calls him out. But his behaviors should be called out. Look, when Tasha K asked him, do not put my name in the title with Armon Wiggins, please. Because see, once you start talking to someone off of YouTube about more than just business or anything else, you know what I'm saying? That's something different. She asked him that, and he said okay, and did it anyway. And it came up, and then afterwards came up with excuses of why he did it. You should not have said okay. You should have been like, I'll think about it. Oh, I'll think about it. Let me think about it. But he does things like that. You know what I'm saying? And people make excuses for them. You got to stop making excuses when you see behavior that's not good. And he says he's just bipolar. I honestly, this is me. I told y'all I'm not a professional. Well, I'm not a professional, okay? I look, but it seems like this is more his personality. It seems like it's not emotional, it's more his personality. And I remember watching him before I said I didn't want him on my recommendations. I remember watching him and a caller saying, I love when you have your bipolar fits. Why would you come on? First of all, you don't never tell a sick person that you like when they're sick. That's like telling someone with cancer, oh, I love when you start throwing up because they're on chemo. But what's going on? No. When I was watching that whole thing unfold, my first question to myself is, why is nobody asking this man if he's on his med? Is this man seeing a counselor? Like all these callers calling in, they're supposed to care about this man, but nobody is checking on the same mental health they're trying to defend. Wiley to me is a dangerous individual. The Surviving Wiley series, I saw things on there that I was like, dang. And what made me like, because at first I wanted to make this video when the whole Storm Monroe thing went on, but I was like, no, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna chill out. I'm not gonna do nothing because that's not my lane. I am a critical conspiracy theorist thinker. That's what I do. I don't do, I don't mess with their lane, their genre. I let them do what they do. I'm not a celebrity blogger or anything like that. But I really want to speak on this because then today when I was looking, and even though I told them I didn't want to recommend it, they still recommended him to me. And I'm like, okay, well, since he was recommended to me, even though I said I didn't want it, it must be a reason. So I'm watching it and he started talking about Chris Brown. And he was like, well, if you was raped, why didn't you go to the daggone, why didn't you go to the popo? Maybe for the same reason the man that you tried to force yourself on and drug didn't go to the popo. Come on, let's not act like we ain't. Come on now. This is what we're not going to do. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to sit there and victimize rape. I mean, we're victim blaming and victim shaming. And this is what I'm saying about when people egg on someone's negative behavior. I'm not saying that you can't be his friend. I'm not saying that that it's incapable. He is incapable of managing his issues. But what I am saying is right now he's on a destructive path. All right, let's talk about that whole Storm Monroe thing. He wanted to be the first one to break the news that Storm Monroe was not following Tasha K. And see, he said he has a source. Now, let's get into the fact that if you really listen to Wiley, like if you listen to all of them, if you listen to Sean, Wiley, Armon, Jason, and Tasha, oh, hold on, before I forget, let's bring up how messy it was for him to try to rehash the Lovely T Tasha K incident. Like, why? What was your whole purpose? Because I love Lovely T. I love Lovely T. I I was there with Lovely T since way back. I watched Lovely T. Anybody I watch in my little corner of YouTube, you know that if I've watched you, I'm very loyal. I'm a very loyal subscriber. And I have watched Lovely T from way when she first started, okay, when it was just her and her phone and the couch and the window. I've been watching since way back then. And then I watched, she's the one who got me watching Tasha K. And then I watched the whole Falling Out. I was there for all of that. Like, why would you, what is your purpose and your meaning and look, and then the way you spoke about Tasha K. She is in litigation right now, Wiley. The things that you are saying is not helpful, bro. This man literally, whoa. This man literally sat up there and said, Tasha said this and that. Well, she said allegedly, but no. Tasha K right now should be the last person you're talking to. She is in court for things that she say on the internet. And what are you doing? What are you doing? You're talking about the things that she say on the internet, bro. I can't. Like, you're the type of friend. You're the type of friend. I'm not even gonna say friend because you're the type of person that will come to a person's house, sit down, eat, smile, and be the sweetest person in the world, and then talk about them like a dog behind their back, and then once get confronted, Pretend like you don't know what's going on and it's all for entertainment. Some things are not, look, some people are dealing with real life stuff. Real life stuff. And I understand that. We all go through real life stuff. But for you to sit here and say, "Oh, it's entertainment," like you don't know how to watch what you say sometimes. You say you're her mentor, her mentee. Sorry, you're her mentee, so you won't put Armon's name in the title with her name in the title. And you don't really talk about Armon when you talk about her. But I don't think you understand the other levels of loyalty that also go around that. Why would you talk about this whole issue and situation while she's in litigation? And then I see Storm come into the room and he's putting eyes in there, and hopefully you're going to get the idea to shush. And then Chelsea had to call in and tell you, no, we're not going to talk about that right now. Like, leave it alone. It's like, I don't think you get social cues. I don't think you get a lot. You don't understand. So you seem to not really have social skills and understand social cues. And okay, like I was saying before, if you watch all of them, you will see that Wiley, he assimilates, he absorbs the people around him. That's why I'm thinking he has more of a personality disorder than mental, emotional disorder or a mood disorder. I think it's more a personality, because when he's around, like if you watch him and you have watched all of them, he imitates all of them. Like, he imitates them. I cannot tell you what Wiley is actually like. And I was one of the people that tried to donate to help him when he went through his whole little situation. When he went through his whole situation, I was like, oh, that's messed up, because like I said, I understand mental health, mental illness, and I know that people do not get the help they need, especially Black men. Because in the Black community, Black men are taught you need to toughen the F up. And I'm not even going to lie, I am guilty of it and I am a victim of it. I'm not a Black man, but I'm a victim of, my cousins who are Black men telling me I need to toughen up. Yeah, I went through a whole lot of that. Toughen up. I've been through, yeah, but it's not about me. And then Auntie Hammy, she made her, she literally broke it down. She said that he is a disloyal he's a disloyal person. He is, like, he has no loyalty to nobody but himself. He stood up here, he says it's entertainment. I really, look, what I wanted to do was I wanted to react to that video, because it's so many, because I don't remember everything and I didn't take any notes. Because like I said, I was going to leave this alone. But it was so many things he said in that video, the last video he did about Storm Monroe and Chelsea. He was like, Chelsea's a good girl, she's a good person. Sir, do you not remember what you said? You disrespected her to the utmost. Why? Because she wanted to warn Tasha K about you. And it's rightfully so, because if anybody has been following you, has been following your story, it should be, look, caution. You know what I'm saying? Look, and like I said before, we all have things that we have been through. And I understand that. But you should always take the things that you've been through and use that as a stepping stone to grow into a better person. Like, you should always use the things that the worst of you to try to become the best of you. Everything should be a growing experience, a learning experience. I myself was in a toxic family ship with a family member. It was bad. It was really bad. Like, she did things to me that you would do to an enemy. Really bad. And it wasn't just me. It was anybody in the family that she got close enough to that loved her or that cared about her. And I felt if I loved her, you know what I'm saying? If I loved her now that nobody's around, if I loved her, you know what I'm saying, despite whatever, she's going to love me back and it's going to be no, but it's not my mom and you know, my dad. It was an auntie. And I was like, well, maybe it never worked. It got so bad. It got really bad. And if she couldn't destroy me, she was going to destroy the people around me. That's not good. No, if she wasn't going to destroy me, she was going to destroy my character for everybody around me. And she did. She did. Everybody. Church. She would call. It was bad. It was bad. But it was toxic. And it was a reoccurring thing. Reoccurring thing. And at a point in time, I had to realize it wasn't me. It was her. And when Armon Wiggins saw Surviving Wiley, he realized it wasn't him. Some people, you just gotta leave them to themselves. You just gotta leave them alone. You gotta leave them to themselves. You know what I'm saying? You just do. Because they're not going to become better. Because they don't want to become better. He doesn't feel that he has a problem. It took 2 days to explain to this man why what he did was wrong. And he was reading the chat, letting the chat make decisions for him, and it was a shit show. It was a shit show. You know what I'm saying? This man has done a lot, has been through a lot, and he really he has no loyalty. He has no loyalty. He has no respect, and he will never be your friend. If he go to Tasha's house, he's going to go to Tasha's house, and he's going to tell us everything about what's going on at Tasha's house. Everything. Because he has no loyalty. And I honestly believe that there are people, this is my opinion, who is egging him on because they don't like Tasha and they want him. They know the type of person he is. And they want him to go be around Tasha so they can know her business. Because he gonna tell it. He is a live wire. He is very unpredictable. And it's no way. It's honestly no way to predict that he's going to be loyal even as a mentee. Only thing she can do is get him on papers. Get him on papers. Get him on papers so that if he does, you know what I'm saying, say what's going on in your house, an NDA, he has to pay or he goes to jail. And I promise you, if it goes down that road, all he's gonna do is pull a Tasha K and say, I ain't see no papers in the mail. I ain't see no summons in the mail. Look, look, you guys. I have been watching this unfold and I've been shaking my head in the background like this is really wild. And it's just like I'm sitting here like, do anybody else see what I see? Or am I just seeing this by myself? You know what I'm saying? And it's really bad. It's really terrible because people with a mental health, mental illness, they need people around them that's going to not let them get away with the negative stuff and be proud of them when they do overcome certain things and show positive traits. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. It's really hard. It's really hard dealing with mental illness, especially with somebody with a personality disorder, because that's literally their personality. And if they don't show you respect, they're not going to. They're not going to. You have to demand it, or you have to back away because it's literally their personality. Literally, they have to change the way they think, and that's going to be hard because they don't think that they're wrong, or sometimes Sometimes people get educated on their mental illness and then, they do what they have to do to try to become a better person. That's hard though. That's not easy to do. So, you know what I'm saying? But um yeah, and then whew, he ain't never liked Storm. Wiley don't like Storm. So he was more than happy to break this story. That man, his whole thought pattern is to try to get Storm away from Tasha K so he could become the next Storm. It's like you could see it. You could see the insidious pattern. But I think I'm pretty sure Tasha K is enough for him. Look, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I don't see this ending all that well. I could see it having a what is that after you get married? What is that? What they call that after you get married? A honeymoon. It's gonna be. It could have probably a honeymoon phase, but and then they say, oh, Vaughn lives with Storm. Storm is hunching on Vaughn. Oh Lord, he was a mess. And then Storm was in the chat. You could tell it's Storm. It has a check. How many people has a check in your chat? How many people with a check comes to your chat? He was like, is that Storm? Oh, I don't think that's Storm. You knew it was Storm. We knew it was Storm. Boy, I tell you, I'm just saying, y'all need to watch out. Auntie Hammy ain't lying. Freaking SeanDavie Way ain't lying. They seen it. They saw it coming. Uh it took Armon a little while, but he see it. And the simple fact that Storm blocked him a while ago means that Storm saw it. Storm just is, he doesn't want any problems. He's not the type of person to want any issues. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't got time for all that. Some people, they just have a lot going on in real life that they don't got time for extracurricular beef and issues and problems and situations. You know what I'm saying? But people see it. People see it. I'm pretty sure Tasha see it too. She's just all intertwined and interconnected in this. So she's gonna have to, and she's going through this whole loss. She got a lot. She got a lot going on. And it was like Tasha K was chasing Wiley from platform to platform because she cared. Is it because she cared, or is it because Wiley talks to her on the phone and could possibly know something, and she was trying to make sure that he kept his mouth shut before she was able to get him to sign that NDA? Because maybe Wiley has not signed an NDA and a contract, and she needed to get him on a contract. And after that man gets on the contract, yeah, this is all speculation. This is all me just speculating, just thinking. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And I think that whole situation around Christmas is when Tasha realized that this man is not to be trusted, and everybody was right. But she couldn't really take him where she wanted to take him because he was not on a contract. He was not on a contract. He did not sign an NDA, which I think is only your fault, Tasha. Sis, if you see this, which you probably won't, because I'm a little conspiracy theory YouTuber, and I'm putting this on my backup page. I'm not putting this on my main page. I'm putting this on my backup page because that's not the kind of content that I have on my main page. Main page is just, I don't get that many views. It's okay. I'm just conspiracy theorist. That's it. But um, but when you do conspiracy and stuff, that involves critical thinking. And critically thinking, Wiley, y'all need to go ahead and social distance from this man. Let him. I mean, he's gonna grow. He has his loyal fan base, And I think the sad thing is that he also has people around him that want the worst for him and that want to see him crash and burn because they like that kind of stuff. And the people that actually genuinely care for him, he treats like crap. That's it. So I just wanted to get that out. How long have I been running my mouth? 30 minutes. I just wanted to get that out. I actually wanted to do, I'm sorry, y'all. My earpiece is acting up. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't even know what that sounded like to y'all, but my earpiece was cutting up. But I actually wanted to do a response video to his video that he did because it was bad. It was wild. Like I was just the whole time throughout the video, I was just the last storm video he did, I was like, wow. Wow, that's deep. But all right, you guys, y'all have a blessed day and be happy on purpose and always try to make someone else's day better. Tell a joke or something. Make someone smile for the day. All right.